What's up, everybody? So, wait for a couple people to join, if anybody does join. It's been a long time since I did a live video. On the way to the Grassroots event right now. Just left maybe 30 minutes ago. Stopped, filled up with gas, got my handy dandy snack, my go-to road trip cracker. Not sponsored by Combos, but I probably should be, as much as I consume them on road trips. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get into it here. Originally, I made a post on the community tab, so it's showing, or telling everyone that I was going to have a video revealing the RX-7, like pretty much this is the car, because I was making videos as I was building it and updating with the progress, and then I kind of stopped because many of you know I'm in college. This is my last semester. I'm in senior design for engineering. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's really involved, so I really haven't had time to do the videos that I want to do. Plus, baby Cake's over here. He's got a bun in the oven. Yay! So,
little girl gearhead coming up.
Yep.
February 21.
It is a girl. But all that aside, that's why I haven't really made any update videos. So I said, okay, well, I'll just wait till the end. I'll focus on the build, and then I will. Sorry, that's annoying. And then I'll go ahead and I'll just reveal it. Ow!
Just so you folks know what happened, there's a fish hook right up there.
Yeah, I just stabbed myself with a fish hook.
Please be careful.
Anyway, I figured I'll just reveal the RX-7 when I'm done with it, right? I've been putting a lot of work into it, been really trying to make it something unique, something pretty epic. It is a LS swapped FC. Everyone generally knows that already. But yesterday when I was going to go to reveal it, buttoning up the tune, making sure the nitrous works, everything was going good, and then everything was not going good. The motor decided to go. Rocker arm came off, which isn't a big deal, but then a main bearing pretty much started to seize. So didn't know if I was going to be able to make it to the event, because the event is tomorrow. What I wound up doing was pulling the 5.3 out of my Fox body, pulling the 4.8 out of my RX-7, swapping everything from the 4.8 over to the 5.3, and then putting the 5.3 back in the car. Well, we started at about 6:30 or 7 o'clock last night, and we finished at 3 in the morning. Got it running. You can't see it, but it is on the trailer behind us, and could not have done it without my friends. Specifically my father-in-law. He came over, he brought help. My buddy Dewey came over, and my buddy Dewey was only coming over to borrow some tools for me, and he was like, hey, I'll stay and help if you need it, and he stayed till like 2 in the morning. So
how to get your friends not to borrow your tools.
Yeah. So I mean, I cannot say thank you enough to everyone that helped me out to make it happen. This morning we got the car fired up on the 4.8 tune, made some tweaks. So now with the cam and the 5.3 and everything, the car is running pretty good. Done some couple of like idle slow revs and a couple of like redline revs. Car sounds really healthy. It idles really good. It idles a little bit lower now. So before in the video, actually I never posted the video of the idle unless you followed me on Instagram. The donut video, that was open headers. That thing was running like garbage then, but it was enough to spin the tires. But now, before, when I got the tune done on the 4.8, you couldn't really hear the cam lobe because the idle, there's no IAC control on the LS, on the micro squirt. So I bumped the idle up with an actual screw on the throttle body, and it was around like 900 RPM. So you couldn't really, at 900 RPM, you can't really hear the cam chop. Well, when I put the 5.3 in, I guess everything was, everything's a little bit different. It's a bigger motor, it needs a little bit more fuel. Well, the RPM on the idle came down to about 600, and you could really hear the cam chop. So right now, I did turn up the idle just a little bit more because the cam is kind of heavy. So I'd rather have a smoother idle with a little bit less cam chop than a lower, choppier idle. I don't like the cam surge feeling. It's kind of annoying. But overall, it's running really good. I drove it on the trailer. So we're going to go out to the event and hopefully give some of our buddies a run for their money, and I'm shooting for a podium here. So there's one guy that's coming that is a really big contender for winning the drag race portion, potentially the autocross portion, and potentially the overall victory. His name is Ed. I met him last year. Really awesome guy, super cool build. Is a turbo LS SM95. Has like a 50 shot of nitrous on it. And mind you, all the cars here, right, $2,000 budget. So his car is very unique. The guy is incredibly smart. He's made some stuff work with multiple different manufacturers' parts that you would never think would work together, but he's figured it out. My buddy Calvin was supposed to come with his turbo Fairmont. He had a 4.2 inline 6 from a Trailblazer with a turbo that he built for it. The thing was awesome, but a couple days before they were supposed to come down, or maybe 2 days before they were supposed to come down from Pennsylvania, the transmission let go. They didn't have a spare. So I think this is the first time they're missing the challenge in like, I mean, years, like 15 years, something crazy. I mean, they're like a well-known body at the event. I was really looking forward to racing him and hanging out, but he was going to be the contender to win the drag race, and now he's not there. So now the helm kind of falls to Ed and myself. So it's going to be a battle so long as everything cooperates, nothing goes wrong, nothing breaks. For those that don't know, I do run a micro squirt. It's like the baby version of the mega squirt. For my car, I have the micro squirt controlling the nitrous. So within the micro squirt, there's a nitrous function. You can have the nitrous come on at a certain RPM. It's a built-in window switch. And then you can have it trigger within that window switch based on throttle position sensor. So at anything over 85% TPS signal, within 3,000 to 6,500 RPM, I'm spraying 125 shot. Within that spray, it automatically calculates a fuel table based on what you tell it to put at beginning, like when you first start spraying and when it stops spraying, and it slowly tapers it down. So it adds fuel and it pulls whatever timing I tell it to pull. So for 125 shot, which is what I'm running, I'm pulling about 4.5 degrees of timing. That's probably maybe a little bit conservative, but it is what it is. I know I'm definitely conservative on the fuel that I'm adding. I'm a little bit more fat than anything, but better safe than blown up. So that's the setup. It's very simple. It's very easy to use. The car felt like a freaking rocket ship when I drove it before it blew up on the 4.8, and this 5.3 should make a little bit more power. The 5.3 has better heads on it. They're like a 243 based head. They're the 799 heads. For those that are wondering about the budget, I did actually pay less for this this Gen 4 long block than I did for my 4.8, but the only difference is my 5.3 has head studs. So it sucked because I talked to one of the event managers. I told him everything that's going on. Well, in the Grassroots rules, there's a rule stating you have an emergency repair rule. So within testing, show us the Camaro. I do not have a Camaro. Within testing, if you blow something up or break something, and I think when you're close to the event, you're allowed to replace whatever breaks with an as close to replica part without having a hit to your budget. So since I already had a 5.3, I just pulled that motor out. It's a stock long block, just like my 4.8. and I swapped everything over from my 4.8 to it. So I tried to be as fair as possible. I swapped the pan, swapped the intake. You know, I had a Holley mid-rise intake on my 5.3, and obviously I'm not running that. But I didn't know, I've never heard that 5.3 run, just like I never heard the 4.8 run. So there's just as much chance that thing blows up as the 4.8 did. So we'll see. Hopefully, fingers are crossed. But all in all, I wanted to explain why I didn't show a reveal of the RX-7 yesterday like I said I was going to. And I do plan to make a video revealing it as soon as I get to the hotel in Gainesville. So stay tuned. The RX-7 will be shown here in like the next day or so. You'll see a video of it. And then this year, unlike last year, I am going to get footage of the event. No, there's no Camaro. I don't own a Camaro. I had a Trans Am. I had a WS6 Trans Am, but that is gone. So yeah, thank you guys. Stay tuned for the Grassroots footage, and wish us luck in the competition.
Yeah, and all that being said, there's a lesson to be learned here, folks. This guy, when he runs into a small problem, like, you know, an engine blowing up, he says, man, that's just my luck. But he never accepts it as his luck. He always presses through, as you see, to the finish, even pulling out a motor with less than 20 hours to spare. So well done, babe. I love you.
Thank you. Love you too.